everyone, welcome to Elder Sim Racing's Wednesday Night Racing, brought to you by Chell, Lawman, Motorsport. This is the ManuChamp, where 7 Group 4 cars, or 7 types of Group 4 cars, take to the track to see which manufacturer is best and which driver is obviously the fastest. And at the moment we've got Gareth Morris looking like the fastest, the championship leader. He's going to be a couple tenths ahead of Timmy, look at that, almost on the dot. And in third we've got Ryan Edgecombe in the Atenza. He's absolutely driving the wheels off it. So let's go on board with him for a lap of the Red Bull Ring as we've just exited turn 1, the Niki Lauda curve. Now we head uphill to Remus. Look for that 100 metre board and you've got to brake and open up the corner down to second. You've got the power nice and early. Keep it straight as possible. You don't really want to touch that curb as you head out of turn 2. As you head down the hill, the track slightly curves to the left hand side. You want to keep right for the 100 metre board, down to 4th, down to 3rd, down to 2nd as you head through Schloss Gold. And the track keeps going to the right as you head into turn 4, Rorch. Brake at 50, down a gear. Keep to the inside as much as possible and open up the exit. As you head into the Berth curve, turn 5. You want to try and get on that inside curve but not on the outside. As you head over this brow under the bridge and you shoot back downhill into turn 7, Rin. Quick right hand corner, down a gear, and through you go as you head into the last corner, the Red Bull Mobile, or you know, don't know the corner names, but yeah, you know. But yeah, there's 2 penalty sections on this circuit. Obviously you've got the regular turn 1, or out of the last corner, sorry, before the start finish straight. You want to start getting rid of that penalty and get rid of it all before the 150 metre board. And then the second one is on the exit of this turn 1, so you get up the hill because you can really easily wear out your penalty. Let's see if Ryan Edgecombe can do it. Look at that. You can really wear away at it, and if you run quite wide you get rid of some more, as he does there. But yeah, just because penalties on this game are a bit askew, especially on this circuit. So as I said, we've been on board with Ryan Edgecombe in the 42 Master Speed Atenza. But we'll go through the standings. Excuse me. We've got Gareth Morris at the top with 84 points. 3 points behind him is Timmy Gill in that GTR, really outdriving that car. I must say it's not the fastest thing in the world. But then you've got Dean Atkinson in 3rd. I'm not sure if he's here at the moment. He's not, no. And we've got Lee Fitzy, who's down at 6th at the moment, 6th fastest in this practice session. Then Craig Thomas ahead of him by 3 tenths, and he's on 45 points. Oh no, 46 points I should say. Because it's Sam Tyler below him, who's on 45 points in the Subaru. Hasn't timed a lap just yet, so we don't have an indicator of his true pace. But behind him, Brian Ross, winning a race 2 at Spa in the first week. And then Ryan Edgecombe, who's only showed up, who began last week at the Nürburgring on 33 points. And on 32 we've got Tom Holland, the quick and inconsistent young driver. Adam Morgan behind him in the second Ferrari. Nathan John in 12th. Steve Stone's in 13th, and Ismail Nemri in 14th. So we've got a couple guys left to show up before we get everything underway in 10 minutes time, where we'll have a 10-minute qualifying session where all the drivers head out on the track and set as fast a time as they can. And at the moment we don't really know who's going to be out on top. Showing the timing screens on the left hand side, they don't stay the same while some drivers are in the pits. So what at the moment it does look like White is so far ahead, but got to bear in mind that Timmy is in the pits. But looks like Lee Fitzy's third fastest, although Craig Thomas suddenly bettering his time. He's only a 10th behind Moz. This Austrian circuit seems to be suiting his Mustang. It's quite a power-based circuit. Like I said, the Mustang is very quick in a straight line. But yeah, for race 1, we'll be beginning with the qualifying standings. So fastest goes first and slowest goes last. And race 2 and 3, they will be reverse grids, so the results from race 1 will be completely flipped on its head, and the guy who finished last will finish at the front, or start at the front for race 2, sorry, and vice versa for the race 3, where it will be raining this evening at the Nürburgring, the Red Bull Ring. There's one of the rings, so many in Europe. But yeah, could we see the likes of Ryan Edgy in the four-wheel drive Tenza, or Timmy Gill in the GTR, or one of the Subarus, considering Sam Santala. So it's all to play for, and the fastest drivers are always fast no matter the conditions. As Gareth Morris just picks up a half-second penalty there, using the penalty zone correctly. Out of the exit of turn 1 to turn 2. So just head there at turn 2 or turn 3, depending on whether you like the FIA or not. So at the moment the fastest time set by Gareth Morris, a 1:35.4. Quite a solid lap time. He's good 7 tenths, almost 8 tenths faster than Lee Fitzy. So it looks like Gareth Morris is going to be the one to beat in that bright yellow Ferrari. A very well balanced car, a good all-rounder. Looks like it suits Gareth quite a lot. He hugs the apex there. Really dulls in that corner. Although he is 2 seconds down, so it doesn't look like he'll be better in his time on this lap. Almost 3,000 miles, or just over 2,000 miles on the clock. Really experienced with that car. He is the champion of the previous 2 Wednesday night series. Craig Thomas bettering his time as well. He's now only half a second behind Gareth. Lee Fitzy in the McLaren, you could say that's the Ferrari's rival. Similar concept with a car. You've got a V8 behind you, and then all the power going to the rear wheels. It's very similar cars, but yeah, there obviously are some differences. So we will watch Ryan Edgecombe getting hunted down by Gareth Morris. The only man who could seemingly stop him last week. Gareth was, like usual, very fast at the Nürburgring. Picked up a win or 2, if I'm not mistaken. As Ryan Edgy just runs slightly wide there, dips the wheel into the key litter. Yeah, Adam Morgan, we've been a bit quiet about him this season. He's not had too good of a start. He spun out 1 or 2 times. I think might have been all 3 races last week in the at the Nürburgring. One time just dropping it out of turn 5, I think it was, and then out of the long right-hander going up to the Schumacher S's, just dropped it on the inside there as well. So he's got a lot to prove for the rest of this season. He's got to keep up with Gareth Morris, who everyone says that your greatest rival is always your teammate, and that's the one you want to beat because you're in equal machinery. Timmy Gill, though, half a second down from miles, and he's on an identical time to Osman. Let's have a look at the timing sheets. What is that time? The 35.901. So naturally those two are incredibly close together. If you look at the mid-pack, you've got Ryan Edgy and Adam Morgan, 5th and 6th, very close between those. And then Tom Holland down in 8th, very close to Nathan Fletch, who I've seen throughout the week. He's had a few practice lobbies up, just getting used to the track, getting used to the car, ready for tonight's racing. Minutes ago, a lot of drivers will be making last minute changes to maybe their brake bias, or just making sure they've got the track all dialed in now, know the braking zones, and they'll want to pace themselves in qualifying. You won't want to see Tom Holland that close to the back of Lee Fitzy or any other car for that matter. As say something like this happens, it can really ruin your lap. As Lee Fitzy just drops it on the exit there of turn 3. He's going to get it going quickly. 5th fastest driver there. Just being beaten out by Ryan Edgecombe, the real life racer, bear in mind. He's been testing his Renault Clio 182 with the Castle Combe circuit. So I wish him all the best. Well, we've got a comment that's hopefully it's not complaining about the audio levels, or I'm gonna die. Let's have a look. Still a couple minutes left, so any predictions or anything, feel free to slap them in the comment section. Have some discussions with the fellow viewers. There's more rounds to find a corner. Is he going to better his time? Ryan Edgy's just binning it there. Don't know what happened. It's like 13 of 14 drivers show up this year. I think it's Michael Watt's not able to show up tonight. Very unfortunate to see. Tom Holland bins it as well. It looks like he ran wide on the exit of turn 4 or turn 5. I don't know. There's so many like little wibbles and wobbles on the circle. Looks like Dean Atkinson's done the exact same in the Subaru. He's just run very wide there and put it in the gravel. Don't want to be doing that in qualifying or the race for that matter. So everyone's entered. Let's get going. We've had Steve Songs join as well. The second Ford driver, alongside Craig Thomas, who's currently in 3rd. Don't know if he's also Welsh like Miles Osman. I think Timmy is as well. Some trails out the pit. Some drivers are going to be sticking back just so they can have that gap. Just the legs to leave the pits. What can Ryan Edgy do? He'll be wanting to put his car nearer the front, use that 4-wheel drive to his advantage and get a good start and potentially lead into turn 1. His most likely opportunity of winning this evening will be in the wet race, the 3rd race of the evening, the 2nd reverse grid. where the four-wheel drive cars will really dominate off the line. As all three races are grid starts, I should say. As he just cuts off Gareth Morris there. Excuse me. I might have myself a drink in a minute. My throat's getting really wrong. Everyone just piles round as once again Tom Holland leads the pack. What can he do? We know he's quick. He was leading for a significant amount of race 2 or race 3 last week at the Nürburgring. He was keeping a solid gap to his teammate, who also started to drop back in the late stages of the race. Let's see what he can do. We know he's quick over a single lap, so let's see how we can challenge the rest of the grid. Looks like Steve Stones is exiting the pits as well. This may put him off. Just goes down into third. Really shoots over that curb there, really opening up the exit of turn 1. And he's using the track limits to his advantage. He's not getting a penalty there, which is good to see. As he heads up to 6th gear into turn 2. Go down for 4 gears, 5 gears. Option to use the more powerful first gear. You could either use first or second. Get the short shift, just so you don't lose the back end out of a corner. So he really throws it in there. The back end kicking out, sliding through. Tom does also drift on this game, so he does know how to handle a car going sideways, which may explain some of his driving styles. Really handling the car, you can see it understeer, just scrubbing the tyres through turn 4. He just blips the throttle and blips the brakes. As he heads over the crest into Rin. Now what can he do? He's 1 minute 20 at the moment, but he's got 2 corners left. The two most difficult on the track, arguably. He runs incredibly wide. Is that lap going to count? Let's find out as he heads through to the final corner. What can he do? 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. A 1:36.7 for Tom Holland, provisional pole, but Gareth Morris smashes it. Craig Thomas. His man Memory beats up by 2/10. Edgy sets a 36.4, which puts him into 3rd place at the moment. Timmy Gill, provisional pole. A 1:35.3, a solid lap there as Nathan Fletcher just pulls to the right hand side, gets out of his way. Dean Atkinson in 8th at the moment. Lee Fitzy 36.5 in 6th. Looks like Timmy's made contact with the driver in the last 2 laps. He's got a huge dent in the back of his car. Adam Morgan into 5th, a solid lap from him. Sam Sultala a 37.2. Slightly less competitive time, but we've still got another 5 minutes 45 seconds to go. So we've got Steve Stones down at the back. He's not set a time at the moment. So is Brian Ross, exiting that middle sector as he heads over the crest. Let's see what he can do. He's a race winner. Runs very wide there. He'll be losing a lot of time there, but this is a banker lap at the moment. But he receives a 1 second penalty, which will also stop his second lap from counting. As he just... oh, excuse me, a bit tired. Black off the 12th, just 400, sorry, ahead of Nathan Fletch. Back up to the front, Morris sets a 35.8. Puts him just under half a second behind Timmy. Ryan Edgy sets a lap good enough for 4th, a 36.2. So it looks like the track will get more rubbed in as the session goes on. The faster laps will be possible. As Timmy sets himself up for a second bite of the cherry. That second lap wasn't going to count. He did receive that penalty on that last lap, which is why he slowed down so much. Adam Morgan goes provisional 3rd. With a 36.0. Good lap from him. Sam Sultala improves on his time, puts him 9th in the Subaru. Maybe that heavy 4-wheel drive system is slowing him down. Let's see what Moss can do, though. He did seem to be the the character to beat in the practice sessions. He's stuck behind Tom Holland now in the Boss BMW, the Ostermeyer car. He's 2/10 up on his personal best, but can he find another 3 going through the final 2 corners? He will have that slipstream from Tom Holland. That BMW is quick in a straight line. Steer down into Rin. He hits the apex perfectly. Doesn't run too wide. Tom Holland lets him past. Really throws it through that final corner. Straightens it up. What can he do? He can't beat his time. 35.8. Not good enough to better his time as Timmy Gill leaves the pits. Looks like he'll have time for one more lap. He won't want to be getting in the way with anyone else. Evening, Kim. I see you're watching. Hopefully you enjoy the racing tonight. As Lee Fitzy sets a 35.9, puts him 3rd in the McLaren. Stellar driving from him. He really throws it through there. Look at that. As he exits turn 1. Up to 5th gear now as they head up the hill, the highest point of the circuit. Really steep climb, which means he can brake so incredibly late. He's bettering his time by 1/10. Gets a good exit there, really squares it off and keeps it straight. He's got the car and roars through 3rd, 4th gear, 5th gear now. As they head back downhill. One of the key features of this circuit is the incredible elevation changes. It really does have an adverse effect on braking zones. Downhill you want to be braking slightly earlier, and uphill you obviously want to be braking later. As he heads into the middle sector now, taking a late apex to square off the corner and get a solid exit speed. He might get a penalty though for running slightly wide there. He's still bettering his time. Can he get 2nd place? Can he take a provisional 2nd to front row start for Lee? So he heads into Rin. What can he do? Hits the apex brilliantly. Doesn't run too wide. Throws it over the curb, but is he going to get penalty for running so wide there the last corner? Let's find out. He does. Absolutely ruins his lap there. It looks like it was going to be a stunning lap. Half a second off that. 36.1. No, that can't be right. No. 35.6 would be, yeah, because it rounds it up for some stupid reason. So he would have beaten Moz there for 2nd place. Be absolutely kicking himself for that. But it does look like Lee will be one of the guys to watch this evening. Let's see what Timmy seems to be going purple sectors in the GTR, using that 4-wheel drive to his advantage out there, getting all the grip and traction that just claws him out of the corner. Point it in the direction and floor it. It's over the crest into Ren. Looks like it's going to be his potential final lap, although he will have time for another. Keeps at least one tyre on the black stuff. And slightly wide there at the final corner. We just see Liam made that same mistake. Can he better his time? No, he can't, and he's 4/10 down. Although Moz improves on his time, he's not only 2/10 behind Timmy. It's going to be a final lap shootout. Let's see what these guys can do. Because Moz really throws it through the first corner. Is he going to get a penalty for that? He is going to lose a lot of time for running so wide. It's really going to compromise his exit speed up the hill. He does. That lap is out of the window for Moz. So Timmy does have provisional pole. Does it look like Lee won't be able to set another lap? Nor will Adam Morgan. Looks like Osman might be able to, so will Tom Holland. But he is stuck behind him. So it doesn't look like either of these two will be setting any better times if they start scrapping. Ismail Nemrian's... Oh, sorry. Good heavens. Starting 6th. He's just 9/10 behind the Timmy Gill, his teammate. Ryan Edgy in 7th. He won't be too happy with that. He was a lot quicker in the practice sessions. Dean Atkinson in 8th in the Subaru. Nathan Fletch in 10th. Solid drive from him. Tom Holland, let's find out how he does. He's not struggling. He is just under 2 tenths slower than he was before. But Brian Ross going through the final corner now on his lap. Can he improve from 12th position? The last row start. What can he do? And he improves on his time, but it's not good enough to beat his teammate Tom Holland. As he rounds the final corner, he runs so wide, he might get a penalty there. And he does. This lap isn't going to be valid. He's 11th and 12th of the two BMWs. Can Moz beat that time? No, he can't. It looks like qualifying is over. No one's going to be setting some more times. There is a grid. Timmy Gill on pole once again. Gareth Morris in 2nd. Lee Fitzy in 3rd. Brilliant from him. Adam Morgan, I did say he was struggling prior to this, but he seems to have picked up the pace once again. Sam Soltala in 5th. And just behind him, the real Osman. So here we go. All the drivers are lined up on the grid, ready to get going. A few surprises up and down the field. Adam Morgan and Ismail Nemri especially. There we go. Timmy Gill will be using traction control off the line. They are allowed to do that. But he's going off the brake, which is the slower option. And we're racing in Austria. I've butchered that once again, but Sam Soltala once again weaving, trying to get past the McLaren of Lee Fitzy. Moz keeps him at bay in 2nd. Timmy leads the pack through turn 1. Gareth Morris in 2nd. Lee Fitzy keeps his 3rd place, and Adam Morgan keeps his 4th. Looks like Ryan Edgy has had a bad start. He's down to 10th and side by side with Tom Holland there as they go up into turn 2. But there's a penalty there for Lee Fitzy. Gets rid of it. Slightly later than he should, but it can always be looked at by the stewards. Dean Atkinson runs very wide at the back there. Drives into the side of Tom Holland. And look at that gap up at the front. It's 1.5 seconds already. Timmy Gill is on fire this evening. He seems to be unstoppable as Moz comes under pressure from Lee Fitzy. And now Adam Morgan, his teammate, is all over the back of the McLaren. Looks like Memory's going side by side with Sam Soltala in the background. Who's going to come out in front? Memory does have the inside, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too advantageous. Sam just drives right around the outside, and so does Osman. Can he keep it on the track? Yes, he can. Now Tom Holland tries to follow the pair of them. He's now up to 7th. Brilliant stuff from him. Now Ryan Edgy is back up to 9th. Looks like he's gained a place from Dean Atkinson, running slightly wide into turn 1, or turn 2, sorry. His memory running very wide there, giving Ryan Edgy another place essentially. But look at that, Timmy Gill almost 2 seconds ahead now after the first lap. Can anyone stop in this race? Looks like the only way he's going to be stopped is if he makes a mistake. Moz is going to be too busy with the guys behind. Lee Fitzy is coming under a lot of pressure from Adam Morgan. Is Adam Morgan going to dart to the inside at the last minute? Lee Fitzy covers him off. And he's going to look to the outside. He's going to get the cutback. It means he can get in the power a bit earlier and get a better exit, but he's once again going to have the slipstream as they head down the hill into turn 3. That doesn't look like Adam's close enough. He's another car a length or 2 behind. Want to be right on his bumper. Now Sam Soltala's just behind him if anything goes wrong. The real Osman as well. 2nd down to 6th, always so close. 7th as well is in there, so is 8th almost. Good trying to cars, almost identical gaps between them. Ryan Edgy still in 8th. That purple time doesn't mean anything because it's comparing to the race start time. To get past Tom Holland as quick as possible. Use as much time as he can to get past everyone else. But let's go back up to the front and lock the gap between Timmy Gill and Morris. staying basically the same, 1.9 seconds, 1.8 seconds. And Moz takes the fastest lap there, just 2,000ths, or hundredths, sorry, ahead of quicker than Timmy Gill. Lee Fitzy really throwing it into turn 1. Looks like he's going to be compromising his exits, because now Adam Morgan's catching him and losing Gareth. Losing 6th, Sam Soltala. He needs to get rid of that penalty. And he does, so he pulls off the line just before the braking zone. Just about keeps his nose out of Tom Holland's BMW, who's up to 6th now. But now Ryan Edgy ready to take the 2nd position from the 2nd Subaru in a row. He's going to look to the inside, but Sam Soltala is going to cover him off. Ryan looks to the outside, but he's going to get squeezed, and now Dean Atkinson's ready to take his position, and he does. But the track does turn the other way now, so Ryan Edgy's going to have the inside. Bit of contact between the two. The two Japanese 4-wheel drive cars running wheel to wheel. Their time will come in the final race, but it looks like what's happened at the front? Timmy Gill's made a huge mistake. Did I jinx it a couple laps ago? The commentator's cursed, because now Gareth Morris is ahead. He's leading the pack. Now Adam Morgan's got ahead of Lee Fitzy. Looks maybe he got the worst end of the stick from Timmy making a mistake. Lee Fitzy's still also getting a better exit, so maybe he's going to get moved on into turn 1. You know how aggressive he is. He's really close now. He's all over the gearbox of that Ferrari. He's not going to make the move. He's going to try get a better exit and get the move done into turn 2. He does so. Look at that gap just come crumbling down in the top left corner. 2/10 now, just under 2/10. Adam Morgan looks to the left hand side, but Lee Fitzy does even more. Looks, can't get the move done. Timmy Gill not able to get past either. Now Tom Holland up into 6th, now Real Osman in 5th. Looks like Ryan Edgecombe has kept his place from Dean Atkinson, who's dropped back a significant amount. Now he's going to get past Sam Soltala. Sam runs very wide, but he squares it off perfectly, and he's going to get the better exit. Ryan Edgy's stuck on the outside, not quite able to make the most out of Sam's mistake. So the two are going to be running bumper to bumper for another lap. Let's go back up to the front. Tom Holland in 6th, Real Osman in 5th, Craig Thomas. Timmy Gill in 4th after a big mistake. I don't know what he did there, but that's let Lee Fitzy, Adam Morgan and Gareth Morris ahead. And now Gareth Morris, the guy to beat, who we thought in the practice sessions, 1.3 seconds ahead of his teammate in the same car. As he sets another purple time of 5.7. It looks like Lee Fitzy had a penalty there, and he wears it away, as he should. And Ryan Edgy into the inside of Sam Soltala into turn 1. Keeps his nose in. Throws down the inside. Brilliant move there. Throwing it over the curb. So old school. Going on to 2 wheels. Now Lee Fitzy is running the wheel to wheel with Tom Holland, who's making the best of others' misfortune. Running a solid race into 5th, runs round the outside. Good job from him. Now Timmy Gill's got up to the back of Adam Morgan. He seems to be the fastest guy on track. Only a 10th slower than Moz over a single lap, but then again he is in traffic. Absolutely stomping on the throttle there at turn 3. He's just making that gap to Adam in front just disintegrate. It's now just in the 3/10s. Look at that, he's a 10th purple. Morris is going to have to go as quite quick as he can if his teammate can't hold back Timmy. They round the rink curve, the second to last of the lap. Tom Holland runs slightly wide there. Lee Fitzy looks to the inside. Tom pushing him to the inside, and he gets past. Tom Holland down to 6th, Lee Fitzy up to 5th. Timmy looking to the outside of Adam Morgan. Still trying to hold it there, but it ain't going to work. The outside is never the best way to overtake. It's always the inside under braking. As he's now lost a significant amount of time, but he's going to gain some of it back through slipstream. They head up into turn 2 at the top of the hill. The brakes of that GTR glowing bright red under significant amounts of pressure and heat. Just looking at the map, looks like we've got some racing near the back. Looks like Brian Ross and Steve Stones are at it. And Nathan Fletch ready to pick up the pieces. And it looks like Dean Atkinson's made a mistake somewhere. Maybe he spun off or put it into the gravel, because now he's down in 13th. He is a race winner, so you know he isn't slow. So it must have been a mistake or contact with another driver. Now he's going to be trying to take 12th, 11th and 10th, potentially 9th from Ismail Nemri. Let's keep eyes on him during the race. As Nathan Fletch is bettering his time by 10th in his hunt to get past Steve Stones and Brian Ross, who is also a race winner in that race 2 reverse grid at Spa. Reverse grid's always throwing up. Versus Tom Holland refuses to take his penalty. Could be a bogus penalty, doesn't think it's right, as Timmy Gill gets past Adam Morgan, but now Adam Morgan's going to be holding around the outside, and the rear Lawman ready to get both of them if they run wide or make contact. That Mustang is astonishingly quick in a straight line, especially with slipstream. He now joins the pair if they run side by side. Is he going to try to get the cutback? Timmy Gill pushes Adam Morgan slightly wide. The two still side by side. Now Timmy Gill ducks into a slipstream. Now the rear Lawman looks to the inside, says, "I'm here mate, I'm ready to take a position," and Timmy just tries to cover him off, maybe doing the same to Adam Morgan. Now looks like the pair are catching up to Moz. Maybe he's made a mistake somewhere as well. And now Lee Fitzy up in the 5th, gaining time on Tom Holland, who did have a penalty. He's finally served it in that second penalty zone, but now Ryan Edgy is all over the back of him. The two close friends. Is he going to look to the inside? No, he's not. He's going to bide his time. He knows that there's better opportunities to overtake, using his real life experience to his advantage. He's putting the pressure on, bumping him along as they head downhill into the rent curve, slightly off camber and difficult corner. But now Adam Morgan's still gaining time on Morris. That gap's now down to 1.3 seconds. Looks like the tyre difference, or the tyre wear is exactly the same. So now Timmy ready to take that second position back. He puts 2 wheels on the grass. He's being squeezed by Adam Morgan. Keeps his nose in. He knows that inside is the best way to overtake. He's still got the line. Can he throw it down the inside into turn 2? Let's find out. He does. He just throws that GTR there and pushes Adam Morgan wide. Completely legal. He did have the track. The track was essentially his, but Adam Morgan's still holding it around the outside. That Ferrari, a quick car in a straight line. He's run side by side once more down into turn 3. Who's going to be the latest of the late breakers? Looks like Timmy is. He just throws it down the inside, but now Adam's got the cutback. He's got the inside, but it's going to turn into the outside for turn 5. As the track straightens out, looks like Timmy using all the curb. Is Adam Morgan going to get the power nice and early? Yes, he is. Brilliant, brilliant move there from him. It took him quite some time, but very satisfying indeed for him. Now the rear Lawman very close behind. Timmy makes his presence known. It looks like he's got bare exit. He throws down the inside. It's just going to lose him some time. He's not going to get past Adam Morgan pulling stunts like that. Now Timmy Gill looks to the inside once more. Is the Osman going to split the two? Throw it down the middle. No, he's going to break nice and early. Try and get the cut back on the pair. And he has. Look at that gorgeous exit there. You know, running side by side with Adam, and he just completely gaps him. Bit of contact maybe between the pair, I'm not sure. Looks like Timmy's in his sights now. He absolutely throws it down the inside. Can he get it slowed down enough? Yes, he can. What a move by Craig Thomas. Timmy has nowhere to go. He's got that red, blue, and yellows Ford Mustang in the way. The real Osman building that gap between Moz and Timmy. Now up to 3 seconds. But Timmy looks to the inside. Is he going to give Craig a taste of his own medicine? No, he's not, because Craig's going to hold it around the outside. That four-wheel drive not being used to its full capacity. Now Lee Fitzy's all over the trio, and who knows, maybe Ryan Edgy can join them, make it a 5-way battle for the 2 podium spots. As they now head into the third half. That makes no sense. The last third of the circuit. The real Osman defending the inside, leaves Timmy the space on the outside, very reasonable of him, but he's still got the inside line. Timmy just drops back significantly. Now Adam Morgan's got past. Is Lee Fitzy going to follow suit? He is. Going side by side. Timmy's going to be absolutely kicking himself that he tried to do that. And now Lee Fitzy's got past him, and so is Adam Morgan. Timmy tries to hold it around the outside, he's just going to get pushed again. Lee Fitzy into 4th. Good recovery drive from him, great to see. But Moz, that gap's now 3.8 seconds. He is unstoppable. I don't want to jinx it once again, but this race keeps throwing surprises at us, and it's great to see such close racing as Timmy runs slightly wide there. Ryan Edgy gains so much time on him that he's had quite a quiet race. He did have a bad start, but he's slowly built himself up past the 2 Subarus, past Tom Holland and the Urban Mice for BMW. Ryan Edgy, despite the car's nature, he says he enjoys driving it. It's quite a solid car. He can lean on it as much as he wants. Timmy Gill receives a 2nd penalty. What is going on with Timmy tonight? Really losing the plot. Now Ryan Edgy's got past Lee Fitzy. Adam Morgan and Craig Thomas going to be battling for those final 2 positions on the podium. And Adam Morgan tries to hold it down on the outside. Can he do it into the rink curve? Yes, he can. He's past the Mustang. And now it's Ferrari 1 and 2. But now Osman, this is going to be the Mustang's strongest section of the circuit. This start-finish straight up into turn 2. He's just gaining so much time on the Ferrari. And Lee Fitzy on slightly wide there, he's really going to butcher his exit. All of these drivers pushing to the outer limits. Lee Fitzy receives a half-second penalty. Wears it away as he should, but is that going to enable Ryan Edgy to get past? He's got maybe 2 more laps after this to find out. Adam Morgan under significant pressure from Craig Thomas. 4 tenths, 3.5 tenths. Looks like Timmy Gill and Tom Holland as well having a bit of a scrap. Looks like Tom Holland runs slightly wide, and Timmy Gill's indicating to let him back past, but Sam Santalo got past as well. Could have been an incident while Timmy was serving his penalty. Now this big group of cars at the back. Brian Ross losing the back end, leaning on Ismail Nemri. Dean Atkinson overtaking the last 2 of Nathan Fletcher and Steve Stones. Nemri runs wide as well into turn 5. That dumps him back down to 11th, but he's not going to be under pressure from Nathan Fletcher or Steve Stones anytime soon. He's still 14.5 seconds ahead. Looks like Steve has done the exact same thing. Maybe he's dumped it on the grass or been pushed wide by Nathan. The stewards will have to have a look. Brian Ross in 9th, Tom Holland in 8th, Timmy in 7th. Sam Soltalo, a quiet race from him in 6th, starting 5th. But it looks like Timmy Gill was letting Tom Holland past. He wasn't taking his penalty, probably could have been another bogus one. Ryan Edgy also receiving a half-second penalty. Though it was, he did receive it halfway through the penalty zone, so it can be justified. Maybe it's the same situation with Tom Holland. So now it looks like Adam Morgan's absolutely gapped Craig Thomas now as we head into the last minute and a half. Looks like the gap at the front as well has come down. Maybe Moss has worn out his tyres through trying to pull ahead of the rest. He was having to pay the consequences, although the gap has now come back up. So who knows? At the moment it looks like Moz is going to take the win, but we've got one more lap to figure it out. So Tom Holland and Timmy Gill are going to still be battling. Can Tom fend off Timmy Gill, one of the championship contenders? He slowly looks to the inside, but he knows it's not worth fighting, although he gets the cutback. Still a move there from him. Losing the position back. He's going to go across and take his penalties. Timmy receives a half-second penalty as well. And now Brian Ross and Dean Atkinson are going to catch up as well. Are they going to get past Tom? Tom Holland lets his teammate back past of the bumps Timmy Gill. So now on 3 abreast up the hill. Who's going to come out on top? The inside is always where you want to be. Dean Atkinson pulls back, but can't quite get past Tom Holland, who gets slightly crossed up. So keeps ahead of his teammate for the time being, and Dean just squares off the front end of Dean Atkinson. It looks like he's left nowhere to go as he's still defending his teammate Brian Ross. We're seeing double as the two BMWs run wheel to wheel. The Subaru just trying to get to the inside as quick as possible. But it isn't going to work. We'll head up to the front once again. So now that gap still not really changing too much. Moz just driving absolutely brilliantly. Pushed when he needed to, relaxed when he needed to, kept a solid pace, made no mistakes. He rounds the final corner. The championship leader extends his lead. He flashes his lights in joy. Gareth Morris wins. Adam Morgan makes it a Ferrari 1-2. Craig Thomas completes the podium, and Lee Fitzy just finishing 4th. Ryan Edgy a brilliant 5th too. Sam Sultala a good 6th. Timmy Gill a disappointing 7th. As Tom Holland receives a penalty just before the line, dumbing him down into 10th. Nathan Fletch just coming around the final corner now in 11th. A quiet race, but it wasn't quite last as he crosses the line to take 11th. So far had a brilliant set of brilliant race, a lot of battles up and down the grid. So Steve Stone's retired as well. Not sure when he did, but not quite what we want to see. Let's just change the lobby settings. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I've just got to check my phone to figure out which ones it was. 4:15. There we go. First grid race on previous results, although depends if Steve will be racing. We've got 4 minutes until the second race begins. Let's just take another look through the race results of race 1. Gareth Morris, a solid drive there from him, the only driver to complete the race under 21 minutes. Just just 1.5 seconds ahead of Adam Morgan, his teammate, the Mustang of Craig Thomas in third, Lee Fitzey in fourth. A brilliant battle between second down to fourth, just in the latter stages of that race. Ryan Edgy in fifth, picking up the pieces and making the best of what he could from that last race, where he started or just dropped down to 10th after the start. Sam Tyler in 6th, Timmy Gill in 7th after making a group of mistakes at the end. Brian Ross up to 8th, just on that last lap, ahead of Dean Atkinson and Tom Holland, who received a penalty just through that last corner, and he had nothing he could do. Nathan Fletch in 11th and Ismail Nemri in 12th, a lap down. Steve tiring halfway through that race. So we've got a pit glitch, I think. This is all itself out. Oh, I hate this. Still got a couple of drivers suffering from the problem. So all of the drivers suffering. Gordon Bennett. Sorry about that, some technical difficulties. Not sure what was happening. Everything's all good now. So it's Tom Holland able to get out of the pits. Steve Stones also, which is brilliant to see. And now I've got to make sure that it's host set rather than reverse grid, because Steve Stones didn't finish that race. Just going to take a quick picture of that on my phone. Every week, God, these guys don't make it easy for me. Looks like almost everyone's entered, so I'm just going to. Maybe Lee Fitzey was still struggling from the pit glitch, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Now most of the people have entered, I can sort of figure out where to put people. But Moz will be at the back, just ahead of Steve Stones though. Adam Morgan joins him. That second Ferrari. With Osman, who hasn't entered, but his game crashed, which is understandable, fairly reasonable. We will hold the race back for him. Out of all of our control, it isn't fair for us to just completely disregard it and start it anyway. I've got to figure out where I was. Oh, I can't put Lee in because he's not here. There's Ryan Edgy, if I'm not mistaken. Steve Stones should be right at the back. Brian Ross there at the front. Steve Stones, Moz. There we go. Leaf. Oh, no. Should be Sam there. Sam. Timmy. Why is this so hard? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Yep. 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 So he should be behind Timmy. There we go. Just gotta wait for Lee to enter. And he has, good to see. Very efficient. He goes there. Right, swings and roundabouts. So, let's get Chell on the road. No need to apologise to Lee. There's nothing we can do about it. Lee can do it. So yeah, for the second race of the evening, let's find out what happens. Can Timmy take the win that's been eluding him? He had it. He had one hand on it last race, but just slipped from his grasp. And for some reason, this camera angle is awful. Though on that one we could see what the lights were, but I can't on this one. So, Rose rise. The clutches drop for race 2 in Austria. Dean Atkinson gets a solid start in that Subaru, splitting between Tom Holland and Nathan Fletch up into second, but Ismail Nemri leads the pack into turn 1. Tom Holland getting a bit squirrely over that curve. Now Sam Sultana on the other Subaru looking to get past Nathan Fletch on the outside. The straight line speed is nothing to match the Nissan, which just swoops around the outside. Now they're going 3 abreast in the back there. Brian Ross having to make some evasive manoeuvres. Loses out spots as a result. It looks like someone's gone round to the background. It's Steve Stones in the Mustang, just getting slightly crossed up on that curb. And Lee Fitzy, a rotten start for him. Just getting a bad start, and maybe he was punted wide at turn 1. We'll have to get that looked at. Ismail Nemri now under significant amounts of pressure from Tom Holland, who in return is being chased down by Dean Atkinson, and then Nathan Fletch in return. Timmy Gill in 5th. Good start from him, no major mistakes that cost him any positions. And one of 3 4-wheel drive cars, the Subaru keeping him company just behind. Looks like Ryan Edgy down in 9th, and not a good start from him. He was running 3 abreast into turn 2. That could have been something to do with it. He's separating the 2 Ferraris now, running incredibly deep on the exit. He's going to receive a penalty for that. No, he's not. He's okay. Look at that, Tom Holland goes for a move on the inside of turn 1. Ismail Nemri holds it round the outside. He did go off track. He's got to give that place back. He receives a half-second penalty, which he serves instantly. Tom Holland having to swerve to avoid him there. Nathan Fletch receiving the same treatment and having served that penalty. Dean Atkinson just deciding not to make a move on Tom Holland. Now Timmy Gill taking 2 positions there. Now Sam Sultana in the second Subaru trying to get past Henry as well. So Subaru, Nissan, second down to 5th. Has a look down the inside of Sam, but he just covers him off beautifully. Sam seems to be a real genius when it comes to wheel-to-wheel racecraft. Always able to defend brilliantly as he covers off Henry. Henry's going to have the inside, but he doesn't have the speed to get past. And now Tom Holland is leading the race by 3/10 now. Dean isn't dumb enough to go for a move here. That he's biding his time. He can get him on the exit of turn 1 or turn 2. Like we said last week and the week before, Tom Holland is incredibly quick, but he just can't keep his nose clean. But now Dean Atkinson, his biggest threat from at the moment, out of the picture now, receiving a parking penalty and serving it as he should. But now Timmy Gill, who's the fastest guy out there at the moment, his fastest lap of 36.1, going from 5th to 2nd that last lap. So all over the back of him, he's going to go for a move. Tom Holland defends perfectly, Timmy just holds it round the outside. Tom says, no, this is my first place, and throws his car back down the inside, puts his foot down and says, you're not getting past here, sunshine. Timmy gets dumped back down to 2nd. So head down the grid now. Ismail Nemri in 4th, Sam Sultana in 5th. Under pressure from the two Ferraris of Moz and Adam Morgan. Moz running slightly deep and Adam Morgan putting his nose in there. Ryan Edgy up into 8th. Looks like he has dropped back from one of the Ferraris. He was splitting the two, but he looks down the inside of Adam Morgan. He's not going to get it done. Gives him a bit of a bump. Another one, and he just throws it down the inside. Rubbing's racing. Gets past brilliantly, but Adam Morgan keeps his nose and says, you're going to push me, I'm going to do the same. And now Adam Morgan's received a half-second penalty, which wasn't exactly justified, I don't think. But is he going to serve it, or is he going to risk getting a bigger penalty from the stewards? He pulls up to the side, he is going to serve that penalty. So is Nathan Fletch, but Sam Sultala isn't going to. This half-second run side by side with Gareth Morris. Now Ryan Edgy looking to get past him. Is that Mazda faster in a straight line than the Subaru? The inline 4 versus the Boxer 4. So he looks to the inside of the Ferrari. He's still not serving his penalty. There we go, he's serving it on the line. Ryan Edgy squeezes him to the outside. He can't get back past him. And now look at this up at the front. Timmy Gill finally making moves on Tom Holland. He holds around the outside, throws it around. Can he keep it there? No, he can't. He risked it all and it didn't work out. He backfired in his face. He's down to 3rd. Still a good solid position there. You know, from what's happening at the moment, it looks like it could be his first podium of the season. He's still a good 4 seconds ahead of Gareth Morris. He's just got to keep his nose clean. This is a brilliant position for him. And now Dean Atkinson looks to the outside of Timmy Gill, going into the rink curve, turn 7, I think. So through the final corner. Timmy running slightly wider than the other two, which is slightly risky, but it won't give him a penalty. Tom Holland still all over the back of Dean Atkinson. He's not going to go for a move, he's not close enough. And he can always get past on the straights. That BMW is a rocket with a 7-speed gearbox. And the V8 ready to push him along. And Dean Atkinson and Timmy Gill receiving penalties, the two serving them. Can Tom Holland take the lead once again? Yes, he can. Just perfectly getting around the outside of Timmy Gill. Tom Holland once again into the lead. The young boy from Silverstone leading the pack. That BMW is a good car, but it's had misfortune this season. Let's find out if he can keep it there. He's got to stay focused, he's got to keep mistake free. And Ismail Nemri now, but he's now put it into the gravel. It's not going to be good for him. He's going to slowly fall into the clutches of Gareth Morris anytime soon. The gap now 1 second. Tom Holland doing a stunning job, a stellar drive from him. 2 tenths purple as we head through the 2nd sector into the 3rd. Timmy Gill though will be closer to Dean Atkinson and ready to apply to defend if needs be. Looks like the Nissan is faster in a straight line, but Dean Atkinson will have that slipstream. going to be working in Tom Holland's favour as well. He sets the fastest lap, a 35.8. Solid lap from him. Just over half the lap left, half the race left to go. Tom Holland having rotten luck this last few seasons, going winless in the Ferraris and the Mugans, receiving a few podiums here and there, a few thirds and seconds, but that top step has always eluded him. Getting slightly crossed up, but now Dean Atkinson keeps Timmy Gill in, what's the word? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, Dean Atkinson, Timmy Gill, side by side into turn 3 as they head downhill. Is Dean going to get the cutback? No, he's not. He's still close behind. Bumper to bumper now. Timmy Gill defending. Dean looking to the outside. Let's go on board for this one. No, we can't because the game's gone glitched again. Here's Mel Nemri still in 4th. He'll have Moz company in a few minutes' time. And now Dean Atkinson's got the inside line on Timmy Gill. Ducks back into the slipstream. Timmy running incredibly wide there on the exit of the ring curve. It's once again messing up that final corner. Now he's going to stick to the right hand side. Is Dean Atkinson going to go for that tiny gap? No, he's not. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to try and get the cutback or go for a move around the outside. He's going to get the cutback. That gap's going to come crumbling down anytime soon. Look at it. Slowly but surely coming down. Not at the rate of knots that Dean wanted to go at, but still, progress is progress. And now the gap at the front, 2.2 seconds. Tom Holland is untouchable at the moment. Once again, Dean trying to get past Timmy. Timmy is known for his defensive driving. When he's out there alone, he is fast. But when he needs to, he positions that GTR, which is a large car, I must say, that is working in his favour at the moment. But that smaller, slightly shorter Subaru, not able to get past. That gap at the front now, 2.5 seconds. Go for a move. Right, let me just sort this camera. There we go, that's more like it. Just go on the roof cam as he just slowly catches up. He's going to lose a lot of time there. I think that Moz is already ahead of Memory. But now that Dean Atkinson's pulled back slightly, it looks like Timmy will be focusing on closing that gap up at the front. It's now down to 2 seconds. Tom Holland still does have that straight line speed working in his favour, and track position too. However, it is always easier to follow someone than to be under the pressure of them chasing. Tom Holland makes it perfectly there. Gaining 2/10 through that corner alone. He's really on it. I look like a car on it. Whoever would say that so many times, it makes no sense at all. And that gap from second to third staying the same. Dean doing all in his power to gain back up to the bumper of Timmy. Slowly but surely coming back down, but he's not able to make the inroads he'd want. Seems to be able to turn a lot sharper than that Nissan front. He's got slightly better tyres, although they're running purple sectors through that middle sector there. Tom Holland wants to win this. He's got to keep his head down. He can't be making any mistakes. He's got a half-second penalty. Slightly wide there. He's going to serve it instantly, as he should. 3, 2, 1. He can go again now. He's just got to keep Timmy Gill and Dean Atkinson at bay. He's got to cut back it. He's got to make sure there's no contact behind. He had a look but realised that wasn't what he wanted to do. He's now in second place. All he can do is hope that Timmy Gill makes a mistake. Dean Atkinson can't get past. It didn't seem like he was able to get past the Nissan, but he can't get past the Subaru. So Gill making a slight mistake there, running very wide there, braking slightly later than he'd want to, but that four-wheel drive system just powering him out of the corner. Gap though still staying the same. Around a second. Looks like Tom's going to be focusing on defending from Dean Atkinson unless Timmy can makes another mistake. He has made one in each of the two races before. We've got just under 6 minutes left and we don't know who's going to win. That gap's still a second. Through the red curve for the 9th time. Tom Holland doing all that he can. Following the line as Timmy makes. Is he going to go to defend from Dean Atkinson? They're delp into turn 1, the Nicky Lauda curve. Tom knows he's not going to go for the move. So he opens up the corner and just powers out beautifully. Dean just stuck behind, nowhere to go. Tom goes all the way to the right hand side of the circuit. Timmy Gill's made a mistake. I called it, but now look at this. Dean Atkinson's going to go for the move. Tom Holland round the outside once again, butchering that corner, but now Dean Atkinson's all over him. Can Dean finally get past? This is the trio. The podium positions head bumper to bumper to bumper down into turn 3. Tom Holland can't be making mistakes. He can't be going for moves at the moment. He's got to let Dean Atkinson slow Timmy down for him. And he's pulled back slightly. And now Dean all over Timmy once again for round 3 almost. The tyres just changing between the two to see the difference. Timmy's tyres are really shot compared to Dean's. Even though he took the better racing line, he still lost time. But now Moz all over the back of Tom. Dean running all the way to the outside, hitting the apex perfectly there. He's got a good run. Let's find out if he can get past going into the Nicky Lauda curve. Over the start line they go. Timmy shoots all the way to the right hand side of the circuit. He goes back to the left. He can't move back to the right. Dean not going for the move there, but he's got the better exit. He looks to the inside. Moz has got past Tom Holland though, which means not to be much of a fight back from the guys behind. Timmy with the power of the Nissan just powering him ahead once again. Dean looks to the inside, doesn't get the move done. He gets the better exit. Just been watching that time in the top corner. Slowly. Tom's still keeping with the championship leader. There's still a podium on the cards for him. If he can keep his nose clean, there seems to be another 2 laps left of this race. Hopefully for the top 4. I'm not sure about the guys at the back. Steve Stone's making pressure Brian Ross. Timmy's still struggling with the incredible understeer of that GTR. The 4-wheel drive system eating away his tyres. And now Dean, is he going to go for a look into the ring curve? No, he's not. He follows Timmy through. Timmy running so wide, using all of the curb to open up the corner. But it's still not enough. Dean all over the back of him. Is he going to go for a look on the inside? No, he's not. Timmy once again using all the curve to open up the corner, but it still pushes him slightly wide, and now Dean's got the better exit. ducks into a slipstream still up the hill. Timmy receives a half-second penalty. Dean, easy overtake there for him. Can Moz get past though? Holland, despite losing that first place, a solid 4th place at the moment for him. He's under no pressure at all from behind, but Ryan Edgy's all over being absolutely chased, absolutely hunted down by Adam Morgan in his memory. Craig Thomas having a quiet race down in 8th, and my screen just cuts out for some reason. I don't know if that gets caught on the stream, but oh well. So back up to the front, more important. Definitely more interesting battle. Atkinson leads from Gill to Morris to Holland. Tom Holland running so wide there, he doesn't need to. Dean Atkinson almost hearing what I said, he's got a 2/10 penalty for running wide there. Could this be a tidal wave of change? He's not able to scrub any off. Is Timmy Gill running so wide there? He's going to dump him slightly wide now. Gareth Morris squares it off perfectly. Timmy Gill gets a penalty. He's going to scrub it off though, going through that lot through the second penalty zone. But he's running side by side with Morris. So this is going to hurt him some more. Now Dean Atkinson throws it down the inside, a bit of contact, another smack back from Timmy Gill. Timmy has to serve that penalty now. And despite this, he just lets Tom Holland go past and then takes it away. Dean Atkinson goes for a move on Gareth Morris. Morris gets the cutback. And now looks like Tom Holland is still in contention for the lead. Gareth Morris running side by side with Dean Atkinson. Still to play for still. There's only a handful of corners left to go. They're running bumper to bumper, trading pain as they head down into turn 3. The downhill braking zone incredibly difficult. Tom Holland, look at that, all over the back of them now. Now Timmy Gill runs so wide, he's out. He's pretty much out of this race. Now it's all to play for this top 3. Is Dean going to go to a bonsai move, I should say? And that's a tree. Never mind. Timmy Gill's left the room in frustration. Can Tom Holland take a position or 2? He's going to be so happy with this. A 3rd place has been so long since he stood there on that podium. Ryan Edgy keeping his 4th place. He's only got 2 corners left to defend it from Adam Morgan. But once again, Gareth Morris taking the win on the last lap. Stellar drive. Dean Atkinson going to be kicking himself. There were 4 lead change. There were 4. What am I saying? There were 4 people leading that race in the latter half of it. That's just incredible. Adam Morgan just getting past Ryan Edgy there on the last 2 corners. Craig Thomas in 6th, Nemery in 7th, a good drive from him. Lee Fitzy, after making a mistake in the first corner, or the second corner, I don't know what happened to him, up into 8th. Sam Siltala in 9th, Brian Ross, Nathan Fletcher and Steve Stones finishes the the bottom 3. And there's going to be a lot of change for this 3rd race. Once again, it's reverse grid, and but this time it's in the wet. And yeah, only the best will keep their car on track. Tom Holland just congratulating Dean Atkinson and Gareth Morris, saying great stuff. Obviously happy with their battle. It was a stellar job from all 3 drivers, keeping it clean. Obviously the drivers will have to change their tyres. Some might go for the wets, some might go for the intermediates. Lee Fitzey congratulating Morris, Atkinson and Holland. Samuel Tyler opting for the full wets. Ah, looks like Lee Fitzey and Ryan Edgy were the ones who made contact in that first lap accident. Tom Holland getting very squirrely there. Looks like his memory is also opted for the intermediates, while everyone else opting for the full wets. Looks like Tom Holland's going to be changing into the wets. Everyone's going for the wets now. Apart from Nemri, who's on the intermediates. Mid-engine cars have seemed very twitchy in these conditions, as we watch Nathan Fletcher fly off the circuit at turn 3. Adam Morgan almost doing the same, but keeping his car just on circuit. I want to be very careful on the throttle. But it looks like the four-wheel drive cars will definitely have the advantage in this race, especially the Mazda, the Subaru, the GTR as well. It looks like Timmy Gill won't be taking part in this final race, leaving him frustrated. In frustration, sorry. Left until the start of the next race, so I'll just go through the race results briefly. Gareth Morris once again winning from Dean Atkinson and Tom Holland completing the podium. Been a while since his last podium, but it's nice to see him back up there. Adam Morgan in 4th and Ryan Edgy in 5th. The last minute manoeuvre reported a bit of contact there from Ryan Edgy. Ryan Edgecombe and the real Osman in 6th, Nemri in 7th, Lee Fitzey in 8th, Samsel Tyler a slightly disappointing 9th. Don't know if there was contact there or what, but Brian Ross, Nathan Fletcher and Steve Stones completing 10th, 11th and 12th. So it looks like we've got 12 guys taking part now for the final time this evening. Let's get going as Steve Stones leaves, so now we've got only 11 cars racing in this final round. McLaren with Nathan Fletch, Brian Ross in second. Samsel Tyler will definitely get a good start here, as will Nemri and Atkinson and Ryan Edgecombe in that Potenza. Camera's gone iffy again. Oh my god, no, don't do this to me. Oh, I hate this game so much. Oh, there we go, everything's going once again. Look at that, Samsel Tyler, what did I say? The four-wheel drive car is absolutely flying off the line. Samsel Tyler just taking that first one perfectly, and that is my memory. Second place, getting past Nathan Fletcher. Ryan Edgy is up into 5th in that Atenza, but with 19.5 minutes left of the race, there's no way of telling who's going to win. Very smooth on the throttle. Solo exit, no mistakes there. All the four-wheel drive, or the rear-wheel drive cars suffering. Brian Ross looks to the inside of Adam Morgan there. Gets past. Now Dean Atkins is going to get past him. He's going to have a look at least. Sam still Tyler leading by 1.5 seconds. Looks like Nemri's running incredibly wide. He's going to be seeing double because not one McLaren but two, they're going to get past. Ryan Edgy gets the cutback. Gets past Ismail Nemri. This game so much, best line of the night. Yeah, you wouldn't believe it considering I play it so much. And Ryan Edgy now making a double overtake, and now look at that, someone's off in the background in one of the Ferraris. Looks like Adam Morgan almost spinning once again, coming back across the track. And now Adam's going to get passed by Morris and Osman. Now Ryan Edgy's up into second, ahead of the McLaren. There's only one man stopping him from getting the win. It's Sam Siltala. Those guys in Scandinavia are known for their low grip driving. They're always incredibly quick, incredibly cool. And he's going to keep it on the inside of Dean Atkinson, but is Atkinson going to get the better exit? Yes, he is. He's up and ahead. This free flying off the back of that Subaru, blinding Memory in the 777 car. Side by side into turn 3, and he tries to get the cutback. He seems to be very good in these wet weather conditions. Ryan Edgy slowly but surely gaining time on Sam Siltala. He's a very fast driver. He's just never been able to show his true speed. And I look at that, he's absolutely decimated Lee Fitzy. He's just left him in the dust. Brian Ross having a solid race 2 in 4th place. Emery using that curve is going to be losing a lot of grip. Now he's going to come under strain from Dean. And he cuts to the right hand side. Back to the left. Is Dean going to go for a move? It's not. Memory's got the better exit compared to the BMW with Brian Ross. He's just ahead now, heading up the hill into turn 2. Swirling under the brakes. Is he going to outbrake himself? No, he's not. Just about keeps it on the right black part of the circuit. The gap at the front now. Sam Siltala picking up the pace. 3.1 seconds separating the top 2. Drops from the sky onto the Styrian circuit. Lee Fitzy from Ryan Edgecombe and Sam Siltala 3, 2 and 1. It looks like Brian Ross just getting a bit squirrely there. Not able to put the power down from that big torquey V8. Looks like Real Osman's dropped back significantly. He's done 11th with a second penalty. Something's gone incredibly wrong for him, but he's got 14 minutes left of the race to go. And Ryan Edgy's putting the hammer down. Is he going to set another personal best? Steve Stones joins back. He's going to come and watch the race. It's an absolute stellar one. Look at this, 3/10 purple from Ryan Edgecombe there. He's really going for it now. Lee Fitzy struggling to keep his car on circuit. Third place in that McLaren. And Nemri's going to pick up the pieces, he's going to get in the position, but is he going to get close enough to go for a move into turn 2? So they head up the hill, he ducks to the left hand side, the outside of the circuit. He won't be able to overtake him here, but he just might be able to get on the throttle. He does, he picks up the throttle beautifully. Getting a good exit there, but once again he's on the outside of Lee Fitzy for turn 4. Or turn 3 I should say. Offline you can brake a lot later than online, because the oil just gets absolutely raised up to the surface and you've just got no grip whatsoever. And Lee now being overtaken by the Dutchman. Is he going to keep it? Is he going to get it to stick? He holds it round the outside. The grip of the four-wheel drive doing most of the work for him. He puts his foot down and he's ahead. A stunning move there from Nemri round the outside. But Lee Fitzy throws it down the inside once again and he keeps his third place. But now Nemri's going to get the cutback and he's ahead once more. Dean Atkinson just behind them. Doesn't go for it. Only half an opportunity and everything could go wrong. Lee Fitzy once again going for a move on Ismail. Ismail getting pushed wide. And now Dean Atkinson's prepared to go for a move. He's having a look. And we just boxed in, there's nowhere to go. He's going to hold it around the outside. He's going to try to. He's got to give the place back and he does. Dean Atkinson ahead. Despite this, is going to go down the inside of Lee Fitzy and the McLaren. They head up towards turn 2. Kind of splashing through the puddles. Peppa Pig. And look at this Oz in the Ferrari making inroads. Despite the lack of the front wheel drive being front wheel being powered, sorry. So back up to the front now, the gap's 1.7 seconds. Sam hasn't been buckling under pressure, but Ryan Edgy's really been going for it. Not able to better his time on that 4th lap. Let's find out how he's doing this. They head over to the second timeline. He's just 2 tenths down on his personal best. He tends to take a slow and fast out approach, just watching that gap go up and then back down. The gap's now 1.5 seconds, squirreling just as he comes off that curve. You'll see the gap go up and then it will shoot back down. It looks like Sam Siltala's got a penalty. He starts to wear it away just before the start-finish line, as he should. Now Ryan Edgy is going to take the lead into turn 1, or is he? Can Sam keep his nose in? So they head side by side into turn 1. Sam just outbrakes himself, leaves a gap and a half, opens the door for Ryan Edgy, and he just gets slightly crossed up with Ryan Edgy up into the lead now. There's no one stopping him. He's the fastest guy on track. The weather really suiting him. He's just untouchable at the moment. This would be absolutely sensational to see him win. Now he's under the pressure of Sam Siltala. And now Sam's got the better exit as well. Can we go on board? Yes we can. The wiper's going left, right, left, right. Is he going to go for a move? He's not. He's going to brake nice and early, but it's slightly later than Ryan. He has a look. He had to go for that, or he'd end up in the back of Ryan, and they'd both be in the kitty litter. And he goes for the move. Good, clean move. Despite it being a bit made up on the spot. Let's go back to this battle down here. Lee Fitzy and Dean Atkinson still battling it out. Looks like Nemri's gone down the field. Has he received a penalty? Something like that? Not sure, but this is absolutely brilliant to watch. 2 completely different cars still battling it out. Dean Atkinson taking a 9/10 personal best through the second sector. Whereas back up at the front, Sam Siltala's got a half-second penalty. He's lost his position to Ryan Edgecombe. Absolutely stellar racing from pair. But now he's got the better exit, but it's all for nothing as he's got to pull to the side and get rid of that penalty. And he doesn't. He keeps his foot down. He's going to go for the inside. He wears it away at the wrong point. That's going to be a penalty for him. He's now third. Dean Atkinson, Lee Fitzy and Morris. Third, fourth, fifth. Adam Morgan in sixth. Ismail Nemri is seventh. Tom Holland just ahead of his teammate in eighth. Brian Ross in ninth. Nathan Fletcher in 10th. And Real Osman in 11th. Really struggling with these conditions. Usually Craig is a lot faster than this, we all know that. But he's just not able to use the power of that Mustang. It looked like Lee went for a move there on Dean Atkinson. Couldn't get it to go down the inside as he wanted. And he's now lost a lot of time. Lee has a look. Can brake later offline, he knows that. Two Ferraris behind Morris and Morgan. That gap, that's really far. That's just absolutely slid down. Morris just getting on the throttle a bit too early there, but he's still getting on it better than Lee Fitzy, and he's up into fourth now. As he head over the crest into the rink curve. His next target is Dean Atkinson in third place. The 22 Subaru. Running very wide, and so does Morris. Going to go back up to the front. Brian Edgy getting past Sam Soltara on that 6th lap just at the end. And Sam's had no comeback, no pace to send back to him. Looks like Dean Atkinson's made a mistake. Every time I cut back and look at that, Adam Morgan's into the wall on the exit of turn 1. And Ismail Nemri shoots past, and it looks like Tom Holland is going to do the exact same. Once again, Adam putting it into the wall, very sad to see. Battle here. Gareth Morris, Lee Fitzy, Dean Atkinson, three completely different cars. Three close friends, however. Despite his four-wheel drive system, Atkinson's just struggling compared to Morris and Lee Fitzy. Morris, look at the tyre wear, just absolutely none on the front despite 8 laps completed. Or 7 laps, I should say. The second sector now. Lee doing all in his power to get on the power, and he's just gained a heap of time on Gareth Morris. Is he going to go for a lunge? He's not. He's going to break nice and early. He's not going to make any mistakes. And look at that, 11.8 seconds up to Ryan Edgecombe in the lead. By his personal best, he's got absolutely nothing to give. 46.4 for Ryan Edgy that lap, and 47.2. The rear-wheel drive car's really struggling. We've got no rotation fly from four-wheel drive cars. And just ahead of the Ferrari and Nissan, and Nemri and Morgan, the Dutchman and the Welshman, and side by side into turn 2. Nemri just parks it on the apex. But despite that, Adam Morgan gets past, and now Brian Ross spinning it on the exit, being a bit too eager on the throttle, and Nathan Fletch, just despite being in 10th, has just no reply whatsoever for Ross's spin. He's only going to gain a slight bit of time. He won't get past. And now look at this, 3.2 seconds between Ryan Edgecombe and Sam Soltala. been almost 6 months since Ryan Edgecombe's last ESR win, but he's still got the pace. He's incredibly fast in this Atenza, there's no doubt about it, despite how awful it is of a car. That hitting every apex perfectly, getting on the power so smoothly. He's giving a solid pace. The mid 46s seem to be his best, and the low 46s seem to be his personal best, second the fastest lap of the race. And the gap has gone up 5/10, so half a second in that lap alone, or half a lap I should say. Ryan Edgy is untouchable in these conditions. Now look at this. Dean Atkinson getting ahead of Lee Fixie for fourth. Now the two go wheel to wheel. And it looks like Frowney is going to have the slipstream, but he's not going to get past. They run 3 abreast into turn 2. 3 into 1 never works. So a little bit of contact there. Subaru is still struggling to get onto the power. He's going to throw it down the inside, and he's not going to get it to stick. Well, he is going to get it to stick, but Moz isn't. He's been overtaken by the Subaru and the McLaren. This is a brilliant little battle here, absolutely cracking. As we head into the latter stages of this race, maybe the tyre wear won't have as much of an effect as it has in the last 2 races in the dry. But because look at this, Dean Atkinson has a look on the inside of Lee Fitzy into the rim curve. Can he get it done? They head into the braking zone. No, he can't. Lee just cuts in front, making contact with the front core of Dean's car, and he keeps ahead. Just about the same sort of exit, but now he's just close enough to go for a move into turn 1. Can he do it? A late minute lunge? No, he can't. Late minute, last moment? Keep getting the two mixed up. Once again, he's getting a better exit. He's just setting up his opportunities absolutely perfectly, spot on. He's got a perfect opportunity here. He's less than 2 tenths behind. He's got alongside the McLaren, so he's not going to go for it. 1 minute left, and it looks like these guys here, they're just going to get past the start finish line, so we're going to have one more lap of this fantastic battle. We've got to go back up to the front now. Ryan Edgy now 4.5 seconds ahead of Sam Sotalo. I did say these 4-wheel drive cars were going to be advantageous in this race, but Jesus wept. Ryan Edgy doing a stellar job. That Tesla is a dog of a car. I've driven it before, somehow I've won in it before in other series, and unfortunately it wasn't in the wet, so it wasn't too easy. And despite it being a nice looking car, it's just not to drive. So heavy and understeery, but Ryan Edgy says it's good to lean on, it's not going to snap on you, so you can push as hard as you want. And he's right about that, because look at this, he's now almost 5 seconds ahead of Sam Sultala. I want to go back up to this, because now Lee Fitzy's received a penalty. Tom Holland coming home in 6th, the first guy to come over the finish line after the 20 minutes. Good drive from him in the wet. He was further back towards the start of the race. And now for the final time they head into turn 2. Is Moz going to go for a move? He's not. He's gone the inside of Lee Fitzy there. And Lee Fitzy just gets very crossed up. And now he's just lost a significant amount of time. It looks like this battle is all over now because it's just almost a second separating each driver. And as I was saying, Ryan Edgy seemingly untouchable. He started further down the grid, despite that despite the fact he had a bad start. He's still setting good times. He's made no mistakes. 5.3 seconds ahead of Sam Stiltala. He's just been untouchable. The driver of a real champion here. Potentially next season, if he keeps on the grid for the whole race, maybe he can put up a good fight to Gareth Morris. But he rounds the final corner now, and he's going to be absolutely delighted there. He's going to cut across the track. Yes, he is. Ryan Edgy wins in Austria. Sam Stiltala coming round, takes second place, personal best in the ManuChamp. Brilliant drive from him. Dean Atkinson, the Subaru teammate, finishing off the podium ahead of the championship leader Gareth Morris. Stellar drive from everyone tonight, especially this man, Ryan Edgecombe, the 42 Atenza. He's going to be pleased with that. 5 seconds ahead of everyone else. Whew. Fastest lap, clean races. Obviously won't have pole position. But once again, we've had another winner this for the 3rd week in a row. So we had 2 wins from Morris and 1 win from Ryan Edgecombe. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week we will be, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it's Mount Panorama. So that's going to be very interesting to see these cars. Very nice to drive. So it's just going to be a case of who's most comfortable in their car, and how close can they get to the walls. Can this man Ryan Edgecombe keep his cool and take another win next week? Once a driver has that win, they've got that fire in them, and once they've broken it free, they just go for it. They're a lot faster than they were before. They've got that new level of confidence. So yeah, make sure you tune in next week at the Mount Panorama circuit. Make sure you tune in this Friday for the BTCC season finale. We've got the Porsches as well, and I think the Mazdas are done. I don't know. Darren will know. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Wrong button. And I'll see you next week.